What's up, players, guitar players? So today I have a little bit different of an idea. I was inspired to make a video after watching a video on Guthrie Trapp's YouTube channel. I'm going to link his video that inspired this one. I'm going to link it below in the description. For those of you that don't watch or don't know who Guthrie Trapp is, you don't watch his channel, I recommend you check it out. He is, I don't know him personally. I watch his channel from time to time. He's in very high demand. He works a lot, live gigs in the studio, just does everything. Really phenomenal, cream of the crop Nashville player. Regarding his channel, he conveys a lot of great ideas on his channel. I myself, I don't consider myself in the same category as him. But sometimes when I watch his channel, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose. His brain works so fast, and he's given so many ideas, and he's moving so fast on the guitar. And one thing he doesn't do, and he even says it in the video that inspired this one, his channel, the idea behind his channel is not to get close-ups and show you exactly what he's playing and slowing stuff down and give you specific licks. He's just consulting and giving you ideas and telling you how his brain works. But he moves so fast, he speaks so fast, and he's just giving ideas one after another. Sometimes it's hard for me to even follow. So the video that inspired this one, I think it's called Country Double Stop Licks over 1-4-5 chords, something like that. Just so much good stuff in this video, and a lot of it's not really hard, but it occurred to me as I was watching it, for any of you guys out there who are beginners or just intermediate players, it would probably really help you to be able to slow down some of what he's playing and get better close-ups of what his fingers are doing, and talk through it slowly so you can actually get some of these licks under your fingers. And I'm not claiming that I'm going to play these licks just like Guthrie Trapp did, but I'm going to more or less give you what he was playing and some of the licks that I thought were really cool, and really underline the core concepts that I think he was wanting you to take away from his video. So hopefully this is just something you can use in tandem with his video, where you can watch his to kind of get the ideas directly from him, and then maybe if you need some of those things slowed down where you can actually make it easier for you to learn some of the licks that he was playing, use this video to help you do that. So anyway, I'm gonna focus the camera as close as I can up to where you can see what I'm doing on the fretboard, and slow down some of the licks that I took away from his video, and talk through them and make it so maybe it's easier to digest for you guys out there. And I want to be clear, I'm not taking anything away from Guthrie Trapp and his playing and his channel. I mean, it's great. I love his channel. I love his playing. He's a phenomenal player, so I want to make that very clear. I'm just saying his brain works fast, and he's full of ideas, and he doesn't hold back on his channel. So it feels like drinking from a fire hose sometimes, even for players who are past the intermediate stage and getting into advanced stuff. So people who aren't at that level, keep watching this channel, but maybe get some help breaking down some of his ideas that he's conveying. And that's what I'm trying to do here for you guys. So anyway, I'll get right into it, and I hope you guys get something out of this. If you do, please subscribe to this. This YouTube gig is tough. I'm not getting a ton of views. My shorts are getting pretty decent views where I'm just jamming out on the guitar, but these long form videos. I mean, any help, guys, like this video, subscribe. It'd help me a lot if you get something out of this, because I want to keep doing them. I hope you guys are getting some out of it. So I'm going to keep going as long as I can. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the lick he plays right near the beginning of his lesson, where he's talking about the idea of moving over the 1, 4, 5 chords in the key of A. And he talks about repeating the same lick over each chord and how that can help you build a theme for like a solo or just some chords that you're soloing over. And the position he's playing in for this lick, it's I guess it's called the A shape, and we're playing the A chord, so don't let that confuse you. So you have just a regular A chord here on the 2nd fret, but then if we move that up here, where we start the bar on the 12th fret, and this is our A, and then we play this bar chord here, just a standard power bar chord. That's an A chord, but we're also playing the A shape of the cage system. Don't let all that cage stuff confuse you. Just know that we're playing an A chord here. And the lick that Guthrie Trapp plays is, and I'm going to play break it down into a real simple form, but he's doing something like this. And then he repeats that over the D and the E chord, so the 4 and the 5 in the key of A. All right, so let's make that even, and that's not exactly what he plays, and he doesn't even play the same exact thing twice, which is good. But if we break it down, I mean, it's good from just a creative standpoint, not to always play your licks like the same way every time, is the point I'm trying to make. But to break this down even simpler, so let's just focus on the G and the B string here at the 14th fret. So that's the 1 and the 3 of the A chord, A and C sharp. Okay, so I'm just going to walk that down. All right, so by the time I end that, I'm on the 5th of an A chord, which is the E, and the dominant 7th, which is a G. So this is kind of a bluesy sound to end that lick. So I'm walking down to there. Okay, so remember we're starting here, this A bar chord. Well, I'm just isolating these 2 strings from that bar chord on the 14th fret. So if I do the same thing with the D chord, which is the 4 chord in the key of A, so the D bar chord is here. If I just isolate on the 7th fret of the G and the B string, I play the same pattern. Make sure you can see that where I end the lick. And then up to the 5 chord, which is E, starting here on the 9th fret. If I isolate that on the 9th fret on the G and the B string. All right, so all together, that sounds very thematic, right? You can almost predict what it's going to sound like. Well, you can predict when it's going to sound like when I move to the next chord, because I'm playing the same pattern. It's just over a different chord. And I'm plucking the strings with my fingers, like hybrid style. If you just want to use the pick, that's fine. To me, those kind of things are what really makes your individual style, like how you pick the notes. And I may do both. Sometimes I might pick them, and sometimes I use my fingers. So the full complete thing that GT Guthrie Trapp does is he slides into this C sharp in kind of like he calls it a ghost note because he's not really emphasizing it. But if this is the A chord, well, the first inversion is like this, that Jimi Hendrix kind of style of playing the chord, right? Where the third is on the bass. So he slides into that. Something like that. So that this third finger just follows the same walk down pattern that that this finger's doing here. I guess when I isolated that lick for you, I was using this finger. I should have used the first finger to be consistent. So if I just isolate the lick on the G and the B string. Now if I want to add these ghost notes here like GT was doing, okay, so now to end the lick, he's just going to walk chromatically up to the A chord. Right here starting on the 5th fret. So let me try to play that all together again. So he plays that lick kind of right at the beginning of his lesson, and he's playing it real fast and he's talking through everything really fast, and it's hard to follow if you're not at least past the intermediate stage of guitar. So the next thing that I think he does is he actually moves to the key of E, and he's playing the D shape. He's playing the D shape of the E chord. So again, don't let this cage stuff mess with you. But, a D chord, just the open chord shape, we usually play it like that, right? This is usually how we play a D chord in the open. So if I were to change the fingers I use, and I were to free up my first index finger and finger it like this, that's still the D chord, right? But if I move it up 2 frets, I'm going D to D sharp to E, and then if I bar my first finger here, because I can't play this open string anymore, it won't sound like an E chord. So when I bar my first finger here, it's like functioning as a capo, and it's covering this E string here, it's covering the D string on the 2nd fret, which is the E note. But if I strum that, it's an E chord, right? But so when he says the D shape, he's playing the E chord in the D shape, that's what he means. But what he's playing on the lick, he's not worried about fingering this E note here, because he's playing the open E low, and he's just fingering the bottom 3 strings, and he keeps his pinky open to fret and unfret on the 5th fret right there. He plays something like, and then he slides it up to the 4 chord, which in the key of E would be A. So here, that's our A. Then up 2 more frets to E, or excuse me, B. And then he ends it way up here on the octave higher E. This is on this 16th, starting on the 16th fret. So the fingering doesn't change, only the fret changes. Again, starting on E, up to A, very pretty. And then he's adding the bass notes there. So what I might do is I might play the harmonics. So the harmonic of E on the 12th fret here. A. And then B. That B harmonic is here on the 9th fret of the low E string. And then back to E. Now, you can play the lick, you can get creative, you know, you can just play the bottom 2 notes. Or the top 2 notes. But the idea is you have that in your bag of tricks for double stops over a 1-4-5 in that country twangy style. But really you can use this over any style of music, you know, R&B, pop, can even work it into some blues stuff. All right, what other licks does he do? I'm gonna play part of a lick that he does. I think this is kind of the cool part of the lick. What he's really emphasizing. So we're using this position of A pentatonic, A major pentatonic. So if I'm playing A minor pentatonic, starting here at the 5th fret, which is like everybody's go-to position of pentatonic minor. I mean, that's like the academic correct way, I guess. So anyway, what's nice about this shape, if I just shift it down 1, 2, 3 frets and play the same pattern, but start with my pinky here, that's starting on the A. But if I play the same pattern, that's pentatonic major of A rather than minor. So it's... Okay, so that's the shape he's using in this next lick. So I'm just going to play like, for now, I'm just going to play like the part of the lick that you would want to take away with you. So he's starting here on the 4th fret of the G string, and he's doing something like he hits the note and let it rest there for a second, like an 8th note or whatever, and then bends it up, and then he hits the E string on the 2nd fret, which that note is the 6th of the A chord. So this is this note, that's our A on the 2nd fret of the G string. The 4th fret of the G string is our B, which is like the 2nd, and then up here is the 6th. So he's doing so that 3rd note he plays in the lick is this E, which is the 5th of the A chord, right? 1 3 5 3 1 A, C sharp, E. Gotta know that stuff, guys. If you know nothing else, know how to build your triads, major and minor. So let's look at this lick again, starting on the 2nd fret, or excuse me, on the 4th fret of the G string. Now going up to the 4 chord, we're going to go up to the 7th fret where this D is, because D is the 4 chord of A. We're going to play the same lick. The lick starts on the 9th fret. And then move it up 2 more frets to get to E. And then he ends it up on this A here. He plays a lick like in the same shape that we're using down on the 2nd fret. We're just an octave higher. Really just play anything that sounds that's easy for you, but just make sure you resolve on the A note. Okay, so all together it's and when I'm doing this bend, I'm using 2 fingers to help me bend the note up. So this is the note I'm playing, but I'm using this finger to like support the bend to make it easier, I guess. It's a pretty common technique. All right, so getting into that cool part of the lick, again, GT doesn't like almost never plays the exact same thing twice, but basically he's just outlining the chord. So here on the 2nd fret, he slides into the he'll slide into the A, and then, or with his pinky, or me with my pinky, then the 3rd, the 5th, and then back to the 1. So got to know when you're outlining that chord, guys, so important. And then play the lick, the meat of the lick, or the end, I guess. Let me see if I can get that a little smoother. Let me give you one more that I thought that was really cool. This is actually, I think, a really easy one to play. It just sounds super hip. So, again, if we look at this pentatonic major shape, so A pentatonic major. Now, if I just move that up 12 frets, where I start all the way up here, so my first finger is on the 14th fret, but I'm starting here on the 15th fret. I'm just going to use my 3rd finger. Sorry, this would be the 17th fret. That's an A. Okay, so that's like the shape where we're at with this lick. So the lick, as I basically heard it, again, this is not exactly how GT plays it, but gives you the rough idea. is he's hitting the A string open, all right, and then he's got the you can use your pinky if you want, your third finger, or third finger and your second finger. It all just depends where you're going to go with this. I got my third finger over the E and the B string on the 17th fret, and then I have my second finger on the 16th fret of the G string. And again, these are all notes right out of the A pentatonic major. So, very cool, right? Now if I go down to D, I can play the D open. So this is my third finger is on the 10th fret, and my third finger is on the 9th fret of the B string. And then I move up 2 frets and I hit the E open. Oops. What'd I do? Oh, I moved up 3 frets. Move up 2 frets. So again, it's and then resolve it down to the 2nd fret on the A. Right? Just keep it really simple, guys. Always home bass is always the basic major chord, the 1 3 5. All right, I hope that helps you guys. Again, please like or subscribe if you stayed with me and got something out of this. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much that helps me.